Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be making roast leg of lamb. To start off with, I've got a small leg of lamb here. Here I've got 3 garlic cloves, 3 star anise seeds, 3 bay leaves, half a teaspoon of peppercorn and some thyme. I've got my salt to taste and some water. I'm going to start off by preparing our lamb. I'm just going to take a knife and poke in a few holes into this lamb, okay, because we're going to give this a steam before we actually put this into the oven. The reason I'm doing this is because when I put it into the oven, I want the inside to remain juicy and not dry, and for it to be flavored and salted as well. So that should be fine. I'm going to get a pot. I'm going to be putting in my lamb into this pot. Just drop the whole thing in there like that. And into that, I'm going to be adding in all my spices, as well as my salt. Just enough. And then I'm going to cover this with water. And then I'm going to let the steam on my stove for about an hour. Make sure when you cover it all the way to the top, you need a little bit more water. I've covered this fully with water now. I'm going to cover this up with a lid and let this simmer on my stove for an hour. Here you can see I've got it in my pot with the water, a little bit of an oopsie there. This is going to boil now, so all the flavors infuse into the lamb, and then we'll let this dry out after that. Okay guys, it's been an hour now. Here we can see our leg of lamb has boiled nicely and all the flavors have infused to our leg of lamb. Now I'm going to take this out of the pot and let this drip dry. Here you can see I've got a leg of lamb. It's still piping hot. I'm going to let this drain out for a bit, all the excess water fall off, and give it a chance to cool off. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead with our mixed veg. I'll show you how to marinate this in the meantime. Okay, here I've got a few pieces of butternut which I've chopped up, and I've got about 4 potatoes which I'm going to chop up as well. In my saucer here I've got some freshly ground garlic and some thyme. And then I'm going to be using some freshly ground black pepper and some aromat for some seasoning and some oil. Okay, I'm just going to dice up these potatoes into quarters, and I'm leaving the skin on so it's nice and crispy. You can use any veg you want. I'm just using potatoes and butternut today. Give this a good slice. Okay, now I'm going to be adding in the butternut. Just squeeze it in our batter here, a baking pan. I'm not too stressed about it not fitting in all at once because it is going to shrink once it cooks. I'm going to add a good splash of oil. Oil actually keeps it very crispy. And then I'm going to be putting in our black pepper. A good seasoning of black pepper. Make sure it coats everything nicely. Okay, and then I'm going to be adding in my seasoning. Just give it a good tap. That's done. And then I'm going to be adding in my freshly ground garlic, not too fine, and then my thyme. You can also put in a few sprigs of whole thyme if you want. Just break it off, tear it and throw it in there. I'm going to give this a good toss. Okay, just take a spoon and mix everything together, like so. You can use your hands if you want, it's easier. Just make sure all the potatoes and the butternut is coated with the garlic, the oil, and the salt, as well as the black pepper. Got nicely coated. This is going to go into the oven with our roast. Okay. While we're waiting for our leg of lamb to cool off, I'm going to show you the marinade I'm going to be using to put on top of it. Here I've got some mustard, black pepper, some oil, a tablespoon of garlic and ginger. I've got some aromat for seasoning, some mayonnaise, a tablespoon of mint. Here I've got some garlic cut up and some thyme for stuffing our leg of lamb. And I've got some paprika as well to go into our spice, as well as some honey. Okay, we're going to start off by putting in a tablespoon of mustard into our bowl, and then a teaspoon of paprika for a little bit of heat. And to that, I'm going to be putting in the garlic and ginger, and then our mint, and then just going to drop in some oil, okay, and then we're going to put in 2 tablespoons or 2.5 tablespoons of mayonnaise, heap spoons. Okay, and I'm going to crush in some black pepper. It's just a basic marinade. You can use whichever spices you fancy. That should be enough. And then our aromat for seasoning. That's enough. And then we're going to be dropping in our honey with some sweetness. About a tablespoon. Okay, I'm going to give this a good mix. Now that we've mixed it up nicely, I'm going to be adding in a piece of lemon for some tanginess. A squeeze of lemon. The seeds are popping all over the place. Okay, and just give this a good stir. Mix it well, and we're going to leave this to stand while we get our leg of lamb injected with our garlic and our thyme. It's going to sit there for a bit. Let's get our leg of lamb. Okay, now that we've got our leg of lamb, you can see it's nice and tender. Just going to make a few slits into it. You will find that some of the juices are running out. Wherever we can, just be careful with the knife. Nice slits. I'm going to be stuffing it with some garlic. Wherever you can. Do it all the way around this leg of lamb, this roast, so that the flavors go through and they stay there. Just squeezing into the fish, and then also take a little bit of time wherever you put in the garlic and push that through as well, so all the flavor remains in your leg of lamb. So squeeze more pieces in here, on the side as well. A little bit difficult to get it in, but you gotta try. Let's go into this side. I'm done here, not yet. Let's put up a messy job, but the flavors in this is wonderful. I'm going to do the rest of it now and I'm going to come back. Okay guys, now that we're done stuffing our leg of lamb, as you can see, the garlic and the thyme, I'm going to be taking our mixture and I'm going to be spooning it all over. This is going to go into the oven now and this is going to bake. Try and get it throughout our roast. Grab the sides as well. The back of it, the sides. Front of it. Get everything in there. Now, before I do the underneath, I'm going to put this into my pan or my tray. You take this and put it over this way. Get this out of the way. And I'm going to do the side here. Straighten it up there so you guys can see. Just gonna put spoonfuls and cover our leg of lamb. Like I said, every nook and cranny gotta cover. I find it dripping along the sides, it's fine. The back of it, the underneath. Finish up the last bit. It smells wonderful in our kitchen. And this is going to go in the oven. It's going to bake at 180 for about an hour and a half. So because we pre-cooked it on our stove, we steamed it, it's not going to take that long to cook. So I'm just going to cover it up with some foil. It's going straight into the oven. Here's an up-close picture before it goes into the oven. As you can see, everything is coated nicely. I'm going to be putting a foil over this. Foil and seal it up. For the first part, I'm going to pinch this in. But after a while, we're going to be taking the foil out so that it can get nice and crispy. Tuck it in roughly, where you'll be able to take it out later on. Make sure all the edges are covered in so that the steam will let the marinade soak into our meat. Okay, this leg of lamb and our veggies are going in together. So an hour and a half for our leg of lamb, but after an hour we're going to open this out and we're going to let it crisp up. Our potatoes after 20 minutes, guys. You can see it's crisping up nicely. I'm going to put this back into the oven again for them to crisp up on the outside, and then we're going to check on our roast. Here's our roast, guys, after half an hour. Just going to open up the foil gently. Steam coming off here. It's going to have a sneak peek of what it looks like on the inside. Quite hot, there you go. You can see it's starting to simmer in its juices. We'll put the foil back on now. Put this back into the oven for another hour. And here we have it, guys. Our roast leg of lamb with our potato and butternut. I've also done a cream spinach. If you guys go and search for the vlogging family, you'll find the recipe down there. I've done some gravy as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Until next time, bye.